Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining this morning. Let's make a start. Hope you all had a wonderful Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada Puja. A wonderful weekend. Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gira Vardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gira Vardhari Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadameham Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vichakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Eshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatu Priyascha Kirpa Sindhu Vevacha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukham Kote Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandashi Gurundin Taranam Paramanandamatam Shitsanya Ishram Hariyom Tassat Naram Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jem Uduriyat Ashta Presha Abdureshu Nitya Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhakti Uttam Shloke Bhagavati Bhakti Neshta Ki Hariyom Tassat. So we're talking about Vishamdev, and last time we're talking about the art of dying, as demonstrated by Vishamdev. Actually, for him, there was nothing auspicious or inauspicious because he was devotee of the Lord. But yet, he showed humility by waiting for an auspicious period when the sun is in the north to leave his body. That was just he just because he doesn't want to show that, oh, I'm a pure devotee, so I don't have to do this. He still do it, and it's like pure devotee, you still have to serve, you still have to chant. It's not like I don't need to do anything more because I'm pure devotee and Krishna takes special care of me. Yes, Krishna does take special care of his devotees, but we should think that we have a long way to go. We have a lot to achieve. So that was last time. Now we shall continue. Verse 31. Vasudaya Dharanya Hat Shubhas Tad Iksha Yevashu Gata Yudha Sharma. Sorry, start again. Vasudaya Dharanya Hata Subhas Tad Ikshaya Iva Shugata Yudha Sharma Nivata Sarvindriya Vriti Vipramas Tustav Janya Vishrajan Janadanam. So Vishuddhaya, by purified, Dharanaya, meditation, Hat Ashubha, one who has minimized the inauspicious qualities of material existence, Tat him, Ikshaya, by looking on, Eva, simply, Ashu, immediately, Gata, having gone away, Yud, from the arrows, Sharma, fatigue, Nivrit, being stopped, serve all Indriya senses, Vritti activities, Vivramaha, being widely engaged, Tustav, he prayed, Janyam, the material tabernacle, Visarjan, while quitting, Janardanam, to the controller of the living beings. So by pure meditation, looking at Lord Shri Krishna, he at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by arrow wounds. Plus all the external activity of his senses at once stopped, and he prayed transcendently to the controller of all living beings while quitting his material body. So the material body is a gift of the material energy, explains Srila Prabhupada. Technically called illusion. Identification with the material body is due to forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. For a pure devotee of the Lord like Vishamdev, this illusion was at once removed as soon as the Lord arrived. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and the illusory external material energy is like darkness. In the presence of the sun, there is no possibility that darkness can stand. Therefore, just on the arrival of Lord Krishna, all material contamination was completely removed, and Vishamdev was thus able to transcendently situated by stopping the activities of the impure senses in collaboration with matter. The soul is originally pure, and so also the senses. By material contamination, the senses assume the role of imperfection and impurity. By revival of contact with the Supreme Pure Lord Krishna, the senses again become freed from material contaminations. Vishamadev attained all these transcendental conditions prior to his leaving the material body because of the Lord's presence. The Lord is the controller and benefactor of all living beings. That is the verdict of all Vedas. He is the supreme eternity and living entity amongst all the eternal living beings. And he alone provides all the necessities of all kinds of living beings. Thus he provided all facilities to fulfill the transcendental desires of his great devotee, Bhishamdev, who prayed as follows. So we're going to Bhishamdev's prayers. Anything to add on this? So Bhishamdev was now completely absorbed in the Lord, free of any material activities. There was only a loving exchange between servant and master. In that experience, Bhisham returned to the spiritual world. And it's mentioned that death is an opportunity to go back home and serve Krishna or serve him in his pastimes in another planet or universe. Well, we can do that if you can only do that if our mind and senses have become purified. So we have no material attachments left on this planet. Only then we can move on. Bhishamdev was able to purify himself because the Lord was present before him. We have to purify ourselves through our devotional service by coming in contact with Krishna through the holy name. So Krishna physically not there, so we can do the same. So the principle is still the same as Bhishamdev was doing, just the details now changed in the Kali Yuga, and for us, obviously we're not exalted as Bhishamdev. So the principle is same, that we purify ourselves by taking association of Krishna through the holy name. By honoring prasadam, by reading the transcendental literature, by glorifying the Lord is present in his glory. So everything we're doing, reading Bhagavatam, taking prasadam, taking association, all these things we do, we get purification. So Bhishamdev did not consider himself worthy of Krishna's mercy. He considered it his causeless mercy for being present for him at the time of death. He mentioned to Kripacharya about the causeless mercy of the Lord. He said he had no qualification. I was opposing Krishna's intimate friend Arjun on the battlefield. I even tried to kill him. I have so many disqualifications. The Lord is worshipped by so many sages, yet he has come to see an abominable man like me. So that is the mood of Bhishamdev and at the time of death. Wonderful. So 32, Shri Bhisham Uvacha Iti mate upakalpita vitsarana Bhagavati Sattvat Pangave Vibhumini Swasukham Apagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakarte Pejashu Yad Bhav Pravaha. Shri Bhisham Uvacha. Shri Bhisham Dev said, Iti thus, Matahi, thinking, feeling, and willing, Upakalpita, invested with Vitarshana, free from all sense desires, Bhagavati, onto the personality Godhead, Sattvat Pungave, onto the leader of the devotees, Vibhumani, unto the great Sukham, self-satisfaction, Upgate, onto he who has attained it, Kavachit, sometimes, Viharatum, out of transcendental pleasure, Prakritim, in the material world, Upe Yushi, do accept it, Yad Bhav, from whom the creation, Pravaha, is made and highlighted. I just read these words because I think we should be familiar, try and get familiar with them. Maybe we can see what words are repeated in many verses and have some understanding of them. So Bhishamdev said, let me now invest my thinking, feeling, and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Shri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world, although from him only the material world is created. So because Bhishamdev was a statesman, the head of the Kuru dynasty, a great general and a leader of Kshatriyas. His mind was strewn over so many subjects, and his thinking, feeling, and willing were engaged in different matters. Yeah, so he obviously had a lot of responsibility. Now, in order to achieve pure devotional service, he wanted to invest all powers of thinking, feeling, and willing entirely in the Supreme Being, Lord Krishna. He is described herein as the leader of the devotees and all-powerful. Although Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, he himself descends to us to bestow upon his pure devotees the boon of devotional service. He descends sometimes Lord Krishna as he is, sometimes Lord Chaitanya. Both are leaders of the pure devotees. Pure devotees of the Lord have no desire other than the service of the Lord, and therefore they are called Sattvat. The Lord is the chief among such Sattvats. Vishnudev therefore had no other desires. Unless one is purified from all sorts of material desires, the Lord does not become one's leader. Desires cannot be wiped out, thus we have to understand, but they only have to be purified. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad-Gita 10:10. But the Lord himself, that he gives instruction from within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. He is all forgetfulness and remembrance, and he gives instruction in the heart. Such instruction is given not only for any material purpose, but only for going back home, back to Godhead. For the ordinary man who wants to lord it over material nature, the Lord only sanctions and becomes a witness of activities. That's what the super soul normally does. But he never gives the non-devotee instructions for going back to Godhead, only when by your free will that you show that you want to go back home to Godhead Krishna, then he intervenes. Otherwise he never intervenes. He just, like a friend, he's just sit there looking at what you want to do next. He never intervenes in your affairs. Only when you start chanting the holy name, that is saying, Krishna, now please intervene in my life, please take care of me, please help me to go back home, and that is your beginning of becoming a devotee. So that is the difference in dealings by the Lord with different living beings, both the devotee and the non-devotee. He is leader of all the living beings. As the king of the state rules both prisoners and the free citizens. So he is king of both, but he treats them differently. But his dealings are different in terms of devotee and non-devotee. Non-devotees never care to take any instructions from the Lord, and therefore the Lord is silent in their case. Although he witnesses all the activities and awards of necessary results, good or bad. The devotees are above this material goodness and badness. They are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. The devotee also knows Sri Krishna as the original Narayan, because Lord Sri Krishna, by his plenary portion, appears as the Karanadaksha Vishnu, the original source of all material creation. The Lord also desires the association of his pure devotees, and for them only the Lord descends to the earth and enlivens them. The Lord appears out of his own will. He is not forced by the conditions of material nature. He is therefore described here as the Vibhu, or the Almighty, or is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. So we are spiritual, the Lord is spiritual, but there's a difference. He's never controlled. We are a marginal energy, so we are easily controlled by, although the material energy is not strong, is not superior to us, but it can still control us, because we are marginal energy of the Lord. We are not the Lord. This is the mistake people make, that we are spiritual, so we are Lord, we are same with God. No, we are not. We are the marginal energy. We have a superior energy, but only a marginal energy. And so 32. So Bhishmadev knows the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows Krishna created this material world. He knows Krishna is completely self-satisfied and all-powerful. In Bhishmadev's case, Krishna appearing in front of him, he now wants to offer Krishna a gift to the Supreme Lord. So just before he leaves, still have the capacity or the mindfulness to offer something to Krishna before he leaves. What can a man offer to Krishna while he's lying on a bed of arrows about to die? He can only offer his feelings, his thinking, feeling, and willing. The gift he wants to offer are the prayers to the Supreme Lord. That's all he can offer at this time. He wants to offer his thinking, feeling, and willing. Otherwise, due to his situation, he doesn't have anything he can offer physically, but he can offer mentally these prayers. So subtle body is still there, although the gross body has been checked. He wants to invest all his thinking, feeling, willing to the Lord. And this is what we have to do. When our physical body gives up, we worship the Lord with our subtle body. Nothing else matters anymore. We should be chanting Hare Krishna at this moment, or helping anyone else in the situation to chant. Even if the body does not cooperate, the mind is still working. Pure devotees have no desires but the service of the Lord. This is the state of Bhishmadev right now. He desires is only to absorb himself in the thinking of the Lord, to return back home to serve him. So this is a lesson that time of death, our mind still be working right to the end. So can't use your body, can't use your tongue, use your mind, use your thoughts, but they must be applied in Krishna's service at the time of death. Okay, we'll just carry on from here. Tribhuvana kamanam tamal varnam ravi kargoravar abavram dadane vipuralaka kulavritaninan bhajam vijay sakhe rati astumena padya. So three bhuvan, three statuses of planetary systems. Kamanam, the most desirable. Tamal varnam, bluish like the tamal tree. Ravikar, sun rays, golden color. Varam, glittering dress. Dadhane, one who wears vapu body. Alak kul avrit, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp. Anan abjam, face like a lotus. Vijay Sakhe, unto the friend of Arjun. Rati astu, may attraction be reposed upon him. May my anbadya, without desire for fruitive results. So Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjun. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamal tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. So this is Vishnudev praying. So when Sri Krishna, by his own internal pleasure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of eternal body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and lower planet systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body is nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjun is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. Bhishmadev, on his bed of arrows after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna which he put on as the driver of Arjun's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjun and Bhisham, Bhisham's attraction was drawn by the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so-called enemy Arjun for possessing the Lord as his friend. Arjun was always a conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Vishnudev takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijay Sakhe, friend of Arjun, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees. So we don't say Krishna on his own, we always connecting with someone, usually Radha. Vishnudev takes to address the Lord, okay, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotee who are related with him in different transcendental humours. So Yashodanandan as well, so parental, like that. Krishna Sudama, friend of Sudama, Krishna Arjun. While Krishna was a chariot of Arjun, sunrise glittered on the dress of the Lord, and the beautiful hue created by the reflection of such rays was never forgotten by Bhishmadev. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in the chivalrous humor. Thus, his connection with Krishna in that mood. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas or humors is relishable by the respective devotees in the highest ecstasy. So whatever rasa you identify with, we don't know a rasa, but whichever is your rasa, although conjugal ras is considered the highest, but that does not matter, because whatever is your rasa, you will feel the highest ecstasy in that rasa anyway. So, there's no comparison that, I should be a friend, or I should be a parent, or I should be a lover. It doesn't matter. Whatever your connection is, that is the best for you. That's what you enjoy the most. It's like Hanuman prefers Ram. He wants to be servant of Ram. That's what he enjoys most. So it's like that. It's that nature that Krishna has given us, that we enjoy, that our position with him. So that's the highest ecstasy. Less intelligent mundaners who want to make a show of being transcendently related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of conjugal, because they think that's the highest level. So let's go to that level. But they might be at the servant level. But even the servant level, you enjoy so much serving the Lord that you feel the highest ecstasy anyway. But they don't understand. These are mundaners, imitating the damsels of Vrajadam. So they all think they are lovers of Krishna. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundaner, because one who has relished conjugal humor with the Lord cannot be attached to worldly conjugal ras, which is condemned even by mundane ethics. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. A genuine relation of the living being with the Supreme Lord can take any form out of the 5 principal rasas. It does not make any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. Bhishmadev is a concrete example of this, and should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendently related with the Lord. So he wants chivalry. That's his rasa. That's what he enjoys, that connection with the Lord, and that's what gives him the highest ecstasy. So Bhishmadev is referring to the relationship between Krishna and Arjun. He is enlivened by the relationship. He is very happy for Arjun. We should be encouraged and inspired of Krishna's relationship with other devotees. Not be envious, but we should be inspired and happy for them. Vishnudev then focuses on Krishna's transcendental features of his bluish body. Everyone in these worlds is attracted to the attractive Krishna. We try to find Krishna in material body, but we don't get the satisfaction by that. Maharaj Parikshit saw Krishna in the womb, and since then he has been looking for where is Krishna. We see the attractive Krishna in the deity form and its pictures, which are considered window to the spiritual world. So the deities, the deity form, and in the pictures, that is to show what Krishna looks like. So that's the window to the spiritual world. That is Krishna. So regarding the humors, energies of Krishna all facilitate you harmoniously. Krishna desires to engage in his pastimes. He gets dragged by a calf as a toddler, although he's all powerful. He's afraid of Mother Yashoda, although he's fear personified. He has different rasas. He doesn't want this all conjugal love. He wants friends. He wants parents. He wants people to serve him. Actually all these rasas are servant. So you're a servant. You're a servant friend. You're a servant parent. You're a servant lover. Servant. The word servant comes in each rasa. So that's always there anyway. It's some detail changes. Otherwise, the servant part has to be fixed. That's our constitutional position. We're still a servant no matter what the ras. So the service has to be remembered. We always have to remember, not that, we identify with conjugal love, so Krishna now should serve us. No, we should still serve him. So he's afraid of Mother Yashoda, although he's fear personified. He has different rasas with the cowgirls, cowboys, his parents. Vishnu relationship with Krishna is different relationship Krishna has with Arjuna, yet he's able to glorify that relationship. And in 34, Yudi Turga Rajo Vidamur Vishvak Kachalolita Shirmavari Alankata Se Mamnishita Sharir Vibidayamman Tavchi Vilasat Kavches to Krishna Atma. So Yudi on the battlefield, Turag horses, Raja dust, Vidumar turned on ashen color, Vishwak waving, Kachhe Lulita scattered, Sharmavari perspiration, Alankrita decorated with asya onto the face, my Nishita sharp, Sharhi badi arrows, Vibhi Dayaman, pierced by Tvachi in the skin, Vilasat enjoying pleasure, Kavche protecting armor, Astu let there be, Krishna onto Shri Krishna Atma mind. So on the battlefield, where Shri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen dew to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, and because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna. So because that's his rasa, he sees everything in a loving way. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss and knowledge. As such, transcendental loving service to the Lord in one of the five principal relations, namely Shantaras, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. Neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, parental affection and conjugal love is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Shri Bhishmadev is a great devotee of the Lord in the relation of the servitorship. Thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. It appears that Bhishmadev is repenting the actions he committed against the person of the Lord, but factually the Lord's body was not all pain due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter, so he's not flesh and blood and pain, full body like we have. It's transcendental. So those nerves and whatever, pain nerves, arteries, they're really not, not like us. His body is not matter, but he himself and his body are complete spiritual identities. Spirit is never pierced, burnt, dried, moistened, etc. So Krishna is same. He is completely spiritual, just like our Atma. He is completely spiritual. Just like our Atma cannot be phased, burnt, dried, moistened. He is totally Atma. He cannot be burnt, dried, moistened, or phased. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad-Gita. So also it is stated in the Skand Puran. It is said that the spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed, nor can it be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appears before us, he seems to be like one of the conditioned souls, materially encaged, just to bewilder the asuras, or the non-believers, who are always alert to kill the Lord, even from the beginning of his appearance. Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna and Ravan wanted to kill Ram, because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, for the spirit is never annihilated. So Kamsa, he wanted to kill Krishna in the womb of Devaki. He's thinking, okay, she's glowing so much, so it means that the Lord has taken his position in her womb. So if I kill her, that will kill the Lord as well. This is just sheer nonsense. If you think you can kill the Lord. Therefore, Bhishmadeva's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non-devotee atheists. But those who are devotees or liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhishmadeva appreciated the all-merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone, although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadeva. Nor was he reluctant to come before Bhishma's deathbed, even though he was ill-treated by him on the battlefield. Bhishma's repentance of the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture, what he is saying. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great Acharya and devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadeva were as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the Lord's body directly by strong sense of sex desire. Such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is a wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting as an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotee. Shri Bhishmadeva was not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord's body and the Lord are identical, there was no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man. For one who has little knowledge can understand the transcendental exchange in the chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadeva. The word Vibhidyaman is significant because the Lord's skin is not different from the Lord. Because our skin is different from our soul, in our case, the word Vibhidyaman, because we are spirit and material, whereas Krishna is completely spiritual. Or being bruised and cut, they would have been quite suitable. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection of transcendental bliss, because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane. It is full of inabilities, whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, everything is spiritual up there, everything. There is no tinge of material. There are varieties of enjoyment without inability. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee Bhishmadeva, and because Bhishmadeva is a devotee in the chivalrous relation, he fixes up his mind on Krishna in that wounded condition. Okay. So Arjuna is behind Krishna, so he's not able to see the sweat on Krishna's face like Bhishma can see. So Arjuna doesn't see the picture that Bhishma, even though he's enemy, if he can appreciate Krishna, that's like many other soldiers appreciated Krishna. So Bhishma Dev is able to appreciate Krishna because he can see his face, whereas Arjuna, in this regard, can only see Krishna from behind. That is a big difference. He is not able to see Krishna's face and hair covered by the hoof, dust of the horses. So it's a totally different picture here. Of the 5 rasas, Bhishma realizes that his service to Krishna is in the rasa of servitorship. His throwing sharp arrows at the lords is good as another devotee throwing soft roses at him in worship. In both instances, the Lord accepts. He'll accept the arrows, he'll accept the roses. So we should be very careful when we say that Bhishma was on the wrong side or that he was the enemy in the battlefield. He was not on the wrong side, he was on the right side according to his relationship with Sri Krishna. That's the key. That's his relationship. Krishna wants to fight, he gives Krishna a fight. That's the relationship he has with Krishna. Because you can't shoot arrows at Krishna if you are not on the side of the Pandavas. Because you can't shoot arrows at Krishna if you are on the side of the Pandavas. That's why you have to be on the opposite side. Other entities also shot arrows at Krishna, but their arrows were not in devotional service or worship. So, because Vishnudev had high regard for Krishna, he knew about Krishna. So even when he's firing arrows, he still has that regard for him. So they are like flowers to Krishna because his devotee is sending them. It's not like we can be Kanso or Ravan and still be great devotee. The mood has to be there. Other entities also shot arrows at Krishna, but their arrows were not in devotional service or worship. So that's the difference. Their arrows were out of animosity. So this way we can appreciate different rasas or mellows. This is how Krishna is exchanging service, loving devotional exchange. He had no grudges with Vishnu for shooting arrows at him. He comes to see Vishnudev. So we'll leave it here. Time is getting away from us, and we'll carry on Wednesday. So we'll do up to 34 now. So thank you so much. We'll quickly hear from Hina Mataji while she is here, and then we go to Pundakaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna everyone. Hope everyone had a lovely Janmashtami. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Just a couple of points from me today. I noted how Vishmadev, how he demonstrated how he was desireless at the point of his death, and that all he wanted to do was focus on the Lord, i.e., just kind of just like in the mindfulness of devotional service, obviously just through his mind and remembrance and thinking of Krishna, which was very beautiful, and also just demonstrates there's no impediments whatsoever materially. And the other nice point that was covered was around the Krishna and rasa, and how he wants to enjoy different rasas with everybody. And it's just made me think how everybody brings something different to the relationship to Krishna. We're all individual, we're all different, we're all unique, and we all bring different flavors, and hence the reason, I guess that's the reason why he wants to relish each of us and our individualities, because each flavor is different. So, but yeah, so that's really beautiful. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yes, Krishna loves variety, and that's what we need to remember. When we're serving our deities, remember that Krishna likes variety. We give a variety of things, and we're trying to do things in various ways for him. I know, for me at least, it becomes very mechanical. It's just like repetition, same thing all the time. Do things different. He likes different rasas and variety. Thank you so much, Mataji. Pundakaksh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, devotees. Yeah, I mean, every purport, I feel like we should have a summary on each text here, because every text is having so much of information, especially elaborated by Srila Prabhupada. So, Bhishmadev is showing that a devotee will do anything for the pleasure of the Lord, but not for his own pleasure. So, one of the castics mentioned about a devotee in nectar devotion is he will accept anything which is not even favorable, but if it gives pleasure to the Lord, and rejects anything even though he likes it. but if that gives a pleasure to the Lord, he will reject that as well. So Bhishma Dev accepted this kind of role. Outwardly, it looks like he is behaving like an enemy, but only a devotee can understand the real relationship of Bhishma Dev with Lord Krishna. And that point I like, Prabhuji. So we need not imitate anybody. Everybody have their own relationship with the Lord. Follow your instincts, and Lord will give us that knowledge. So in the first purport, you mentioned that Lord provide all the facilities. So as mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita, when he created the human beings, he created the spiritual masters, devotees, and also Vedas, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So Lord send us to the material world for our own benefit, but at the same time, he is protecting us by sending Vedas, spiritual masters, and the devotees around us. And he never leave us. That's what Bhishma Dev is so happy that Krishna is not leaving him. Even though arrows are being shooted on him, neither he is leaving him anytime. Protects his devotees so nicely. That's what Bhishma Dev is appreciating Lord Krishna. Um, as you said, like the body may deteriorate at the end, but the mind will keep. Mind is very active. So that's why we have to tune our mind, because even at that stage also mind is very active, and which cannot happen without doing meditation from the beginning of our life. So we cannot wait for age 60 to start devotional service. Rather, we should start on the day you learn that devotional service is more important. Start it. Don't waste time. Otherwise, mind cannot be in control 100 percentage, and which is very active as well. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. And yes, we've got to remember we're all servants of the Lord. Our mood always be of a servant. And what does a servant do? A servant serves, or should be always ready to serve the Lord as well. Although there's 5 rasas, one being just passive, shanta ras, but we want to be at least in the servitor mood to serve the Lord. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Definitely, as the Crash Prabhu said, we need so much time to unpack and do justice to each one of these verses. But the fact that we have the opportunity to be with each other is an association given to us by the divine will of Krishna. And so we should be so fortunate that this opportunity to even sit, to talk, to ruminate over these verses is such a significant pleasure and opportunity. And it did say that our scriptures teach us how to live and how to die. And Bhishma Dev is a fabulous example of that journey. At the time of death, all pain and misery will disappear because our attachment to Maya, to the material world, will cease. And time again, it says in the scriptures, this is a world full of bewilderment, misery, and such disillusion that Krishna is offering us the opportunity to come home. Come home. I want you home. I've been waiting for you for such a long time. Just see that this is an absolute prison house. This is just one mad hospital, which is so important to get out of. And the scriptures give us these priceless pearls of wisdom that the over-identification with the body or with the material aspects will just give us further attachment to the material world. Being so conditioned to our senses. We want to hear things, we want to see things, we want to talk things. Why can't we be like those three wise monkeys? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. We have all these gems of wisdom and even visual representations, yet we persist in the illusion of this material world. Bhishmadev could see Krishna at the time of death, and for him, this was the ultimate final realization. For us, we've been given the opportunity that we may not see Krishna, but the fact that we are going through the Nam, the Japa, the worship, the Bhakti, the devotion, the association, the Sankirtan, are all leading to the same transcendental journey. Who is qualified and who is not qualified? That's what's been told to us. Bhishmadev thought he wasn't qualified, yet he was. We think we're not qualified, but we are. The Atma and the Paramatma have a significant connection to each other, and therefore a qualification exists to have the final opportunity to merge with that which we have come from. Think, feel, and that's all Bhishmadev could do. Because he couldn't do anything, he was lying on a bed of arrows. And so our thinking and our feeling and our attention has to be sharpened. Krishna has given us the instructions of how to go back home. Become dependent upon him, attached to his lotus feet, to surrender. Use the mind for his worship, thinking, and use the time for devotion. Remember, think of me, for I am your ever well-wisher. Krishna has given us all the opportunities to serve him. And we sometimes, as we said, we want to be the controller, but we forget, even as a friend, we're a servant to your friend. Even as a parent, we are serving the children. And even as a conjugal lover, you're serving your partner. So the concept of serving and servant are intrinsically intertwined. The soul and the Paramatma are indestructible. We have those divine qualities of indestructibility within the soul that we have been so fortunate to have traveled with. We can make that analysis that we do on a daily basis, yet the lower life forms, animals, and even the other hundreds and hundreds of thousands of human conscious forms are unable to do that. Bhishmadev was not on the side of the wrong. People often argue and say, oh, he, as a great statesman, why didn't he protect Draupadi? He was fulfilling his duties. He gave the opportunity for Draupadi to go through the most heinous, dreadful experience for her to ultimately surrender. In our lives, we will have conflicts of interest. Bhishmadev knew that he was on the side of wrong. We often work in environments, we know that things are going wrong many and many times. You can't be a whistleblower every time. And Bhishmadev knew things were going intrinsically wrong, but he went with the divine will of the providence that he was entrusted with. Bhishmadev played a significant role in the Mahabharata, in the relationships between the human individual and divinity, and that learning that arises from it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, this things that we cannot switch off, as you mentioned, thinking we cannot switch off, desiring we cannot switch off, and serving we cannot switch off. But we can only dovetail them, the desires, the thoughts, and the service. We can, we can definitely dovetail them. We cannot stop them. And yeah, Bishop Dev, he knew the process. And yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. I hope all of you are recharged, you have, revive your batteries over the weekend.
I think flat more like.
Flat in the material sense, but I think in the spiritual sense, we are on high, and we are going to ride high on those wavelengths till the next year, till Janmashtami comes again. And definitely yesterday, icing on the cake, it's to remember how our founder Acharya, he used every bit of his energy at that ripe age, as we say in human terms, but it was Nit Naveen, every day it was Nitya Naveen. Yeah, these verses are, getting deeper and deeper. When we hear each verse, each prayer of Bhishmadev, we think that, oh, this is it. But then comes the next one, which is like even deeper in realization in his words. So that's why they say that we should make most of our elders in our life, because they have been through life, and what they can tell us in few words, we'll be going through so many books and journals and theses, and still we won't be able to extract the deeper meaning. So few moments spent with the seniors, especially if you have a senior like Bhishmadev in your family, in your lineage, is wonderful. What a wonderful dynasty it was. We can just envisage as we go through these verses. So like they say that our mind is always active. It has got so many subjects going through it. So at the last moment, it has to come back. It has to be in such a training throughout the life that no matter if it likes to run here, there, and everywhere, but at any moment, we should have that control over our mind that we can just bring it back. That is what we have been taught in Bhagavad-Gita by Krishna, and this is what we are seeing. It's been applied in Vishwadev's life. So yeah, that's my realization. One of the realizations is the Bhagavad-Gita we learn, and in Bhagavatam we see the application in the devotee's life. And it's amazing. So, our intelligence is nothing compared to these great people. Like we hear in the material world that this person has got so much IQ and this and that. But still we see that even crazy ones like us, who are nothing compared to, the spiritual mighties and the material ones, but still we can also use our intelligence. So this is one thing which we have to use till the last moment of our life, but we have to train it. If we are going to train it for other mundane purposes, it's not going to be helpful to us. It is not going to assist us in our final moments. The beautiful verse of Bhishmadev, verse 32, I think it was, Itimati gati upakalpita. So if we can remember few verses of Bhishmadev, few verses of Kunti Maharani, these prayers, and there are many more stalwarts in Bhagavatam. We can remember any prayers. So at the time of difficulty, we can take the shelter of those prayers, but then we don't have to even concoct our own prayers, because we don't know even what to ask. So just taking the shelter of these prayers is going to, take us through the Bhavasagar, like they say. This is Bhavasagar, isn't it? Which we are living in. And pure devotees are only desiring of serving Lord. That should be our utmost desire all the time. And even on the bed of arrows, he feels that he's lying on the, soft flowers, because he didn't mind, like Lord didn't mind being hit by Arjun while he was navigating in the chariot. Similarly, Bhishma Dev didn't mind, being hit by arrows by his grandson, because he could see there's a bigger will behind the whole picture. So, sometimes in life we might see the complete opposites, but those opposites are going to take us to the, the glorious end. So yes, there's so much to learn, and how one Acharya was saying that of our lineage, he says that how by just giving side glances, Krishna was reducing the lifespans of the people fighting on the other side. So actually, whatever problems we are having in our life, Krishna is making our journey fast forward. So when we are in trouble, we always feel that, oh, when this trouble is going to go away, when the normal times are going to come. But these troubles are the ones which remind us our real purpose of life. So let us remember all the hard work done by our recent founder Acharya of Iskcon, Srila Prabhupada, and there's so many Acharyas, the gurus, especially I always think of our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Maharaj. At this age and so many troubles, still he's just, trotting on the path of bhakti. He hasn't stopped. He's doing his bhakti sarvabhaum. If you look at his health, he shouldn't be doing anything. He's giving classes daily. He's doing so much. So let us hope that if we can do even a nano part of what they have done in their lives, I think we'll make our exit to this world definite. Sure, it will be sure. So thank you for all your lovely realizations. It's been always a pleasure to join this Sangha and to learn so much just by scanning through the classes or going through the verses on your own. You can't, but in the company of the like-minded devotees, it becomes so easy to, go through the prayers daily. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, definitely grasp from each other. Thank you so much all. Granth Rashi Bhaktam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Catch up on Wednesday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.